3, 2, 1.
Studio Classroom is Studio Classroom is on the air.
Hello friends, welcome to Studio Classroom on the air. Today is a great day to learn something new. My name is Anne-Marie and this is Gabe. Gabe, where are you? Weird. Sorry about that, friends. It looks like it's just me today.
No, it's not. I'm here, Anne-Marie.
Where were you?
I was just hiding over there. I wanted to see if the show could go on without me.
Why?
Because our lesson today is about replacing humans with machines and computers.
As English teachers?
Well, no, as store employees. Over the next 2 days, we're going to find out if humans are really necessary for the world of retail in a lesson called
What's in Store for Stores? It's pretty hard to imagine a world filled with computerized cashiers at unmanned stores.
Exactly. That's why I was testing it out.
Well, we don't have a computer replacement for you yet. So for now, stick around with us while we read our article for today. Are you ready, friends? Let's go.
What's in store for stores? The store of the future has arrived. But do we really want to shop there? Many business people dream of employing as few people as possible because human workers can take a heavy toll on operating a business. They need to be trained. They need to be paid. They get sick. They have bad days. They make mistakes. They quit. Machines and computers, on the other hand, present none of these difficulties. They have their drawbacks, of course, but they do what they are programmed to do, day after day, year after year. And they never ask for a raise. For many businesses, the cost of automation is quickly recovered through a reduction of wages and other costs from having human employees.
Hello everyone, welcome to Language Lab. I'm Jack. 今天要看的第一个字是 drawback 这个名词，意思是缺点、弱点。例如 The only drawback to Jeeps is their poor gas mileage. 吉普车唯一的缺点就是非常耗油。或是 One of the drawbacks of living in the northern part of Europe is the long winters. 住在北欧的缺点之一就是冬季很漫长。Drawback 也可以指不利因素，例如 Our boss feels that the benefits of Joseph's proposal outweigh the drawbacks. 我们老板觉得 Joseph 的企划案利大于弊。再来看 automation 这个名词，意思是自动化。比如说 We used to talk about home automation being a thing of the future, but the future is now.我们过去常说家庭自动化是未来的事，但现在就是未来了。或是 Widespread automation in U.S. car factories really began in the 1970s. 美国汽车制造工厂其实是从70年代开始普遍的自动化。Automation 的动词是 automate， 是指使某个过程自动化，是及物动词，后面要接受词。例如If our company wants to increase our profits as well as our productivity, we need to automate our factory. 如果我们公司要同时在利润和产能上有所增长，就必须使工厂自动化。Okay, let's get back to our teachers.
Okay, friends, are you ready to learn about what is in store for stores? Let's start reading. The store of the future has arrived, but Do we really want to shop there? Ooh, well, there's a lot in that first sentence, isn't there?
There is. We could talk about a few things. We could talk about the noun of the future. That could be the thing that we imagine will be in the future. So the store that we've been thinking about for a long time, and we think that it's going to happen in the future, but it's actually happening now. That's what the future has arrived means. It's happening right now.
I have heard this phrase as a standalone phrase as well, too, friends. Sometimes people will say something like, the future has arrived, when something that's very advanced in technology is created, or they see something that seems like it's from the future.
Exactly. A lot of old science fiction novels and movies kind of talk about things that only can happen in the future, like flying to a very distant place in space, or time machines, things like that. And if the future has arrived, then we're seeing those things happen right now. They're not just in a science fiction novel. For example, flying cars used to just be a thing of the past. However, they have started to make cars that fly. The future has really arrived.
The future has arrived. All right, well, let's read on here. Many business people dream of employing as few people as possible because human workers can take a heavy toll on operating a business. They need to be trained, they need to be paid, they get sick, they have bad days, they make mistakes, they quit. You know, Gabe, all of these things just sound like normal human things to me.
Exactly. You know, they have bad days. It reminds me of that Daniel Powter song, "'Cause you had a bad day." And we all have bad days, right? But we all have good days too. I can say I had a bad day today, or I had a great day today. What about you?
Yeah, that's true. And our article says here that they take a heavy toll.
Yeah.
So having human workers takes a heavy toll on businesses. What does that mean?
All right, well, if something takes a toll on you or on something, that means it has serious or bad effects on something. Think of the word toll. Actually, the word toll kind of has the meaning of cost there as well. So it's like you're having to pay somehow because of this unpleasant experience.
I've heard that running marathons over and over ends up taking a toll on runners' knees. Have you heard that before?
Yeah, and I believe it.
That means that at the end of the time that they're running, or towards the end, their knees begin to wear out because of all the running they've done in the marathon.
Yes.
And
not just one marathon, but over time, right? Over many years of running a lot, it could take a toll on your body in different ways. Think of another way to use that phrase. But our lesson continues. Machines and computers, on the other hand, present none of these difficulties. They have their drawbacks, of course, but they do what they are programmed to do. We program computers to do certain things.
It says they're programmed to do things day after day and year after year. Now, we use this phrase to say that something continually happens over and over and over. If you practice a skill like, say, dunking a basketball day after day, well, eventually, maybe you'll learn how to dunk a basketball. But it's used kind of in a, well, it is in a positive sense here, isn't it? Is it saying that humans, they don't always do what they're supposed to do, but computers, day after day, year after year, they do.
They do, until one day they break down,
well,
and you have to upgrade your computer or something like that. But yes, usually they don't break down for a long time, right? So we never ask for a raise, or the computers never ask for a raise. That's another benefit of having computers. Have you ever asked for a raise, Anne-Marie?
I have in the past.
Yes.
But let's just finish reading.
Oh, right, of course. That's something only humans can do.
Right, exactly. For many businesses, the cost of automation is quickly recovered through a reduction of wages and other costs from having human employees.
All right, well, we have more to learn about this later, but let's learn a little bit about ATMs right now in the Info Cloud.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Info Cloud. Hey, Rex, can you remind me to go to the bank after Info Cloud today?
Sure, Andrea, but I think the bank will be closed already.
Oh, that's okay. I just need to use the ATM outside the bank.
What's an ATM?
What's an ATM? Well, let's talk about that today. ATM is an acronym for an automated teller machine.
An automated teller machine, an ATM. Now I know what you are talking about. There are ATMs everywhere.
You are right. They are very convenient. Now let's look at what these words mean individually.
When something is automated, it is operated by a machine. An ATM is a machine.
Yes. Now let's look at teller. When you physically walk into a bank, the person who helps you behind the counter is called a bank teller or teller. They serve customers, fill out forms, and handle the money.
And then the M is for machine. So Andrea, do you prefer ATMs or going to a bank teller?
I like how convenient ATMs are. You can do so many things by using an ATM. But if I have questions or need extra help, I really appreciate a bank teller. And sometimes it's really nice to have that contact with a human instead of a machine.
如果你生活在亚洲，应该对 ATM 不太陌生，因为我们常常用它来提款。ATM 这个缩写代表 Automated Teller Machine。Automated 就是自动化 ，Teller 是银行的出纳员 ，Automated Teller Machine 就代表自动化的出纳机器，也就是我们统称的自动提款机。现在 ATM 在我们的生活中几乎是不可或缺，因为它实在是太方便了。随时随地就可以在附近的银行或是便利商店找到 ATM 提款。虽然 ATM 很方便，但是当我们需要一些额外的资讯或是服务的时候， ATM 还是没有办法取代银行的 teller 出纳员，因为机器没有办法回答你的问题，你还是必须亲自到银行一趟，才会有亲切的银行行员为你服务。这就是今天的 InfoCloud， 我们下次云端见。
Studio Classroom is on the air.
Welcome back, friends. Gabe, what are you doing over there? I thought we went over this. We don't have a computer to do your job yet.
I know. I'm just trying to give everyone a feel of what it would be like to have an absence of people around. Did you miss me?
That's a good point. I wonder if stores have been able to do away with human workers completely, or if they're still needed to do some work.
And that's exactly what we're going to discuss in the next part of our lesson.
What's in store for stores? This machine versus human calculation has now entered the world of retail. In recent years, a growing number of companies have launched unmanned stores, hoping to reap big benefits. In these stores, electronic systems, instead of human workers, handle sales. Many methods for making purchases and taking payments are possible, and many are being tried. Of course, such stores still need human staff to stock shelves, clean the store, and so on. But over time, using electronic cashiers can save huge amounts of money.
OK， 我们再来看下一个字 retail， 请注意哦，重音在第一音节 retail。在文章里 retail 是名词，意思是零售。譬如说 I worked in retail to put myself through university。我靠着在零售业打工赚钱，读完大学。retail 也可以做副词，譬如说 I like to shop here because they sell wholesale rather than retail。 我喜欢在这里购物，因为他们以批发价格出售，不是零售价格。Retail 也可以当动词，意思是以零售价出售。譬如说 ，This dress retails at $150. It's a steal. 这套洋装的零售价是美金150元，超便宜的。最后我们来看 reap 这个动词，意思是收获或是获得。譬如说 ，Investors have reaped big gains in the stock market so far this year. 今年投资者在股市里获利很大。另外 reap 也指收割谷物。Canadian wheat farmers reap their fields in early September. 加拿大种小麦的农夫在9月初收成。另外有句常用的俗语，种瓜得瓜，种豆得豆，也是用 reap 这个字。譬如 I heard Josh was let go from his job for being dishonest with the customer. I guess you really do reap what you sow. 听说 Josh 因为欺骗顾客被解雇，我想这就是种瓜得瓜，种豆得豆的结果吧。All right, let's get back to our teachers.
All right, thank you so much, Jack. Let's learn more about retail as we read on. This machine versus human calculation has now entered the world of retail. Well, that just isn't retail in general. We're talking about the world of retail. That sounds pretty big.
Well, right. When you see the phrase the world of something, it's everything that has to do with that thing. So here we're talking about the world of retail. Now, you just learned about retail in the language lab. Anne-Marie, have you ever worked in retail?
I have. I used to work in the world of retail for many years, actually, before I was teaching English.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so now we're in the field of education, but Anne-Marie used to work in the world of retail.
You could say that now we work in the world of English, or ESL, English as a Second Language.
Well, that is true. Friends, let's continue here learning about the world of retail and how machines are entering this world or this sphere of life. In recent years, a growing number of companies have launched unmanned stores hoping to reap big benefits. Now, an unmanned something is something that is not operated by a human, and so you can use the word man as a verb as well. You might say, man your vehicle. That means stand by and be ready to operate your vehicle.
That's right, as we read on here. In these stores, electronic systems, instead of human workers, handle sales. Well, what does handle mean here? It has the idea of it's what they do, right?
Exactly. So this is what they're in charge of or controlling, right? Many methods for making purchases and taking payments are possible. And speaking of making purchases and taking payments, that's talking about two different people, right?
It is. This sentence is kind of interesting, I think, because it's talking about the methods for doing something, but the doer of these actions is different. Do you see that here, friends? Who is making purchases?
Yeah, who makes the purchase?
That would be people, right?
That is the buyer, right, the person.
And who takes payments?
That's the clerk or the person working at the store.
Exactly. So the doer of those two actions are different.
Right, but we would call this whole situation, we would call it a transaction. When someone is buying something, they're paying for something and receiving something from the person, the store is giving it to that person. This is called a transaction, an instance of buying and selling.
Now, this can be done in many different ways. When you buy something online and you enter your credit card information, we also call that a transaction. It's usually used to say that money is one place and it's moved or given or paid to another place. So for example, if you are transferring money from one account to the other, you can also call that a transaction. It puts money from one account into the other account.
That's right. So you get this idea of movement from one place to the next with the word trans something, okay? Transaction. And that's what we're talking about here. Many are being tried. We read, of course, such stores still need human staff to stock shelves. So they're not going to have robots going up and down the aisles stocking the shelves. No, people will still do that. They'll clean the store and so on.
So it sounds like stores are not able to do away with humans completely.
Not yet. This is good news. Good news for me. But we read over time, using electronic cashiers can save huge amounts of money. A cashier is someone who works at a store, usually handling payments and receipts and things like that. They work with a cash register often.
Well, another reason you might use a cash register is to purchase merchandise. And let's learn a little bit more about that right now.
I'm going to attend my first NBA game next month in New York, and I want to wear the right attire to the game.
That's an easy one. Just buy an NBA jersey of the team you're rooting for.
Where can I get that?
Go to the NBA's official website online, and you can get official NBA merchandise there.
That's a great idea. What else can I find there?
All sorts of things. You can get basketball caps, t-shirts, sweatshirts, shorts, even socks.
I'd like to get something for my girlfriend. She's going with me to the game. What do you suggest?
What about a hoodie? It's basically a sweatshirt with a hood to keep your head warm. It's going to be cold in New York in February.
That's a good idea. I'll look into it.
Get a beanie too. That's an absolute necessity during winter in New York.
Okay, thanks. Attire. Attire.
Jersey. Jersey. Merchandise. Merchandise. Hoodie. Hoodie. Beanie. Beanie.
There are many different kinds of merchandise that we can buy, and so many ways to shop nowadays. There's online shopping, shopping through an app, brick and mortar stores.
Oh, wow, brick and mortar stores. That refers to the physical presence of a company, one you can walk into and shop in person, not online. Hey, but speaking of shopping in person, have either of you ever been to a store with a self-checkout?
Self-checkout?
Yeah.
就是那种自助扫条嘛，然后付款的那一种嘛，对不对？
Yeah, but scan and pay and then bag items yourself. I've been to stores like that before, and I don't know that I like that system. What do you think, Jack?
Well, I've never used it. 从来没有用过，但感觉上，像如果我去逛超级市场，感觉好像是 self checkout 的那个 line 都很短，他们会 move 得很快，就不用排太久。
那个就是 self-checkout 的好处
Yeah.
So you don't have to wait too long. And I've tried before the self-checkout, but I'm not a huge fan of it either. I just like the traditional way of giving somebody else my things to scan. But they do kind of remind me of self-service at a gas station, especially in the United States. Almost every gas station, or most states, have gas stations with self-service, and you have to put the gas in the car yourself. It is a new skill. It's not too hard, but it's a new skill you might have to learn if you go driving in the United States.
Hey, that's a good point. I don't know. In my opinion, self-checkouts seem like a great idea as long as they work properly. I always seem to have some kind of problem when I try to use them.
Emery, 我想那叫做 user error， 那不是机器的错，是人自己的问题。
Hey, well, we are going to find out if other people besides me have problems with unmanned stores tomorrow.
So we hope that you'll join us for the second half of our lesson. We'll see you tomorrow right here on
Studio Classroom.
Last a lifetime. I am so proud to have you in my life. A good friend lasts a lifetime.